A very good afternoon to you, sir. Shalini ma'am, Vivek sir has joined us. I request you for an formal introduction of sir.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon to all. I, Dr. Shalini Agarwal, faculty from Government Women Engineering College, Ajmer, welcomes you all in third session of day 2 of this 1 week Atal FDP. Today, we have with us Mr. Vivek Agarwal sir as session trainer from Art of Living. The Art of Living is a non-profit educational and humanitarian organization founded in 1981 by Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji. The Art of Living offers numerous highly effective educational and self-development programs and tools that facilitate the elimination of stress. These tools also foster deep and profound inner peace, happiness, and well being for all individuals. One such contribution is continuously done by our resource person, Mr. Vivek Agarwal, sir. Sir, it's my pleasure to introduce you. Sir is an engineer by profession and has worked with the software MNCs for 7 years. He led various projects as a senior software consultant with New South Wales Department of Education in Sydney, Australia for 4 years. His passion for bringing a positive transformation in the society has seen him leading various projects with the Art of Living as an international trainer. He has been reaching out to youth in various campuses across India with empowerment workshops which have seen a definite impact in their lives. He created and led Youth Mentor Advisory Board for Rajasthan and trained more than 100 mentors. He is a life coach and mentor, reached out to prison inmates in various detention centers. Sir led motivational and trauma relief sessions for refugees from various countries while being in Sydney. He took mind management session for both faculties as well as students at various renowned universities. Sir curated the Spreading Smiles campaign in Kota as well as in Sika. Sir, we welcomes you. Now, I would like to kindly invite you for your session. Sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I'm really honored to be here on this platform and listening to whatever you have shared. I would just say that the experience which I have gained, if I would be able to share that experience in next coming 1 hour or 1.5 hours, that would be really nice. And for that, I really wish to see few faces because normally we have been taking continuous sessions in FDPs and different universities and colleges. One thing what I have learned through my experience is that if the cameras are on, maybe few people can turn on their camera and the energy starts getting built up. And slowly and gently we observe that it is not just a one-way communication happening, rather it is an interactive session and we are talking to each other and learning from each other. So I would really be looking forward to that particular interaction. That is one thing. And been associated with Government Women Engineering College Ajmer since many years, and a very close connection with Meeta ma'am as well. So thank you for inviting me for this session, ma'am. And it's my honor to be here. And Amit,
Pleasure is all ours, sir. It's really a pleasure to get associated with the Art of Living. We faculties as well as students have gained a lot from Art of Living. So we are blessed to be connected with you all. So yes, sir.
thank you, thank you. So before I begin with this session formally, I would like to ask you: is it audible and visible both? Uh, so you can give me a thumbs up if it's properly visible and audible as well. Or maybe you can just write on the chat box. It's there available to you. Just
Sir,
fingers
yes, you
apart.
are audible. You are perfectly audible, but slides are not visible right now.
Yeah, slides are not visible,
Yes, sir.
definitely.
Yes,
So
sir.
we'll have the slides now, definitely. So the topic of this FDP, it's been going wonderfully, and it's what I've been shared with Meeta ma'am has shared with me. that so many faculties have joined this FBP program from across the country. Am I right, Meeta ma'am?
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. And we are talking here about effective leadership and excellence.
Excellence in
Yeah,
technical education. Yes, sir.
in technical education. So definitely effective leadership and excellence in technical education, it all starts with one individual. Yeah. So when we talk about an individual, we talk about how efficiency can be increased. When we talk about an individual, we talk about how that excellence can be achieved. We have been part of many seminars wherein we talk about, building confidence. We talk about having right attitude, positive attitude. We talk about increasing our energy levels. We talk about keeping ourselves updated with the changing scenario. We talk about keeping ourselves, at par with the highly updated technical scenario wherein social media is changing the lives in not years, not months, but in days. It's all happening around us. And we being an educationist, how we can cope up to this changing scenario, we have been part of many seminars wherein we talk about many things. But with due respect to all those seminars, with due respect to all those workshops, what we are here today is to experience in a practical manner and to understand that if the darkness has to be removed, light has to be brought. Yeah. So if a room is dark for many, many years, it would not take much time. We just have to lit a matchstick or a candle and it will lit. So when I say the darkness has to be removed, the light has to be brought. If a person has to increase in efficiency, be a leader in whatever field the person is, in whatever team the person is, somewhere or other, we all agree to the fact that we need to remove the stress from our system and we need to inculcate a positive attitude. Now, how to achieve that? So today, this particular session or this particular seminar, we are going to focus on that. But before beginning with this particular session, I would like to ask you that how you want the session to be. I keep talking for next 1.5 hours and you keep listening to me with videos of, I really don't know what's happening behind the curtain. That is one way of having it. Second is, in between, I'll be asking you a few questions and invite you to interact with me. Maybe you can send your response here in the chat box. Maybe you can answer to the question, or maybe you can post a question and I would like to answer the question. So the second way is better, I believe. Yes, I believe. And the language which I'm going to use is mostly would be in English, this interaction, and in between few sentences in Hindi. I hope nobody would mind that. Yes. So shall we begin with this? Yeah. So we have Divyansh with us. Divyansh, you can put up the slides and then we can start with this today's session. So probably you can share it. Divyansh, you're there? Okay, Vansh is presenting it. Nice. So, first question. Yeah, what we are beginning. The first is, when we talk about bringing a change in ourselves, be it excellence, be it leadership, be it positive attitude, what we are talking about is our existence and how we can improvise it. Yes, do you agree with this? So we need to understand this existence itself at the first place. So let's explore. That's the first slide. So Meeta ma'am, is it visible, the slides?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's explore that. This is the session we are going to experience today. Yeah. So what is this existence we talk about? So let's move to the second slide. So there are several levels on which we exist. Many levels are there. For example, when I'm talking to you right now, are you listening to me? Your ears are listening to me, or your mind is listening to me, your eyes are watching me. Many levels are involved. Yes. And while I'm talking, your intellect is also involved. When I'm talking, your memory is also involved, because you may be comparing it that I have listened to this particular fact before or not. So many different levels of our existence are coming into picture. So what we say is, we move from one level to another level. So the journey of moving from one level to another level is from gross to subtle. Let's understand this. You can have the next slide now. Much. The first level of our existence is body. So why we are understanding these levels are, we need to work on different levels, all these 7 levels, to bring a positive impact on our existence. The first level is body. Yes. And we talk about body, how the body works, or the muscles. Body is nothing but made up of muscles, and we say that either you use it or lose it. Yes. So body is the first level of existence, which is very gross. If anything has to be done at the level of body, we need to put some effort. Yes. For example, if I have to reduce weight during pandemic or lockdown scenario, most of us who are being at home, we generally increase our eating capacity, and the intake was too much, and it resulted into few inches outward. Yeah. So now to reduce those inches from my body, I cannot say that, okay, next day I have to go for a meeting, I have to go look good, and I have to reduce this. It won't work that way. Kaise hoga? I have to put effort, because body understands the language of effort. Yeah. Without that particular effort, body is not listening to us. We need to put an effort at the level of body. Yes. And what we say is, if we are not using our body properly, then we are probably going to lose it. Scientists say that after 40 years of age, it becomes difficult to build up muscles. Most of us who are present today, maybe in the age group of 40 to 50 years or 55 years, even now is the right time to work on our body and reduce the stress element from our body. Now, how does it happen and how we can reduce it, we will see in the next slide. Yes, one. These are the 3 factors which affect our body. The first is food, second one is sleep, and the third one is exercise. Now, we all know about food, how it impacts our body. But before I share further, a knowledge which really influenced me, which really inspired me to understand this deeper, is the principle of Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. Yes. If you are eating too much of food which is on a spicy side, too much of food which is cheesy side, too much of food which is fried, an element in our body increases which is called Rajas. And Rajas is responsible for activity. Yeah, if I have to do something, if I have to take a walk, if I have to do something, lift something, whatever I have to do, I need Rajas in our body. But too much of Rajas, what happens? How many of you who are sitting here right now would agree to the fact that when you are sitting, your mind is wandering here and there. Somewhere it is going. Yeah. The mind is not at one place. It is wavering or wandering. Many thoughts are coming in our system or the mind. Yeah. When Rajas increases in our body, then we have lots of thoughts and we have no control. Random thoughts. But it is at the same time required. If we are not having Rajas, we are not going to perform any activity. Second is sleep. Interesting fact, during pandemic time, we all were at home, lockdown was there, enforced. We were in the most comfortable state, sitting in our home, but still, many of us were sleep deprived. We were not getting proper sleep. How many of you would agree to this? We were comfortable at our home, but still sleep was not there. What does that mean? It does mean that sleep is not completely dependent on the comfortable ambience. It has more to do with our inner being as well. So sleep, whenever tamas element increases in our system, then our sleep gets compromised. If tamas increases in our system, you would not feel enthusiastic. During daytime also, you would not feel like doing anything. Yeah, that feeling of yours, which restricts you from taking new initiative, is increment of tamas in the system. Today we are talking about excellence. Today we are talking about leadership. A leader is always enthusiastic about new ideas, new initiatives, and always leader, he or she strives for excellence. But I tell you the secret behind it. Tamas, if it increases in the system, your leadership qualities, it goes for a toss because you don't feel like taking any initiative. Tamas has to be balanced. And how does tamas increases in our system? Tamas increases when we are not doing exercises. Tamas increases when we are challenging our biological cycle. What time to sleep, what time to wake up. Tamas increases in our system when we intake a lot of food which is not on the healthy side. The third factor which affects is exercise. Yeah. So exercise is something which enables us to overcome or balance both rajas and tamas. Yes. So during activity, if you are feeling sleepy, and during sleep, your mind is into activity, know that rajas and tamas, they both are in balance. They are not in a balancing state. Exercise will help you to balance these factors. Yeah. We can go to the next slide now, Panch. Yeah, next slide. So body was the first level of existence which we talk about. So how to overcome stress at the level of body? By doing some exercises. That is one point. Second is, the second level of existence is breath. Now what we say is very famous saying, no breath, no life, and no breath, no life. The most neglected aspect of our existence. We all are breathing. We all are breathing. But at the same time, we don't realize that we are breathing until we are chased by a dog, or we have to go to the 5th floor and the elevator is not working, lift is not working, and we have to climb the stairs. Then we realize, oh my God, I'm breathing. Breath is something which is very, very powerful. Yeah. So if I ask you today, how much food do you intake in a day? What would be your answer? Kitna khana aap ek din mein khate hain? The answer would be 500 grams or 1 kg or 1.5 kg. Yeah, at max. This is your food intake. But if I ask you how much water do you intake, 6 glass of water, 5 glass of water. But if I ask you how much breath or oxygen you intake in a day, what would you answer? So we have really never given a thought about it. To your astonishment, to your surprise, we intake more than 10,000 liters of oxygen in a day. But we never pay any attention to this particular fact. If you expand the surface area of the lungs, just the surface area of lungs, it is bigger than the tennis court. 90% of the toxins from our system we release through breath. 90% toxins. Not through excreta, urine or sweat, but breath. But we often neglect this particular aspect of our being. Yeah. So breath is very, very, very powerful. And it has been proved. Yeah. So there are some positives also of this pandemic. People have really become aware about breathing techniques, about breath. Yeah. So we are going to learn few breathing techniques in this session today. We are going to experience them, that how we can remove stress from our system using breath, that we are going to explore. Yes. Now we are moving from gross to subtle. The first level was body, second is breath. Now we are moving to the third level of our existence, which is mind. Are you all finding it interesting? Yes. So you can post in the chat something which would, yeah, you can raise your hand as well if you're finding it interesting, because it is going to become more and more interesting going forward. Yeah. So mind, here we are. The third level of existence is mind, which is subtler than body, which is subtler than breath. So mind, we say that if you can win over your mind, you can win over the whole world. That's very true. Somebody asked this question. What is powerful, mind or body? What is your answer to that? Let me ask you this. What do you think? Mind is more powerful or body is more powerful? All intellectuals who are here sitting, attending this seminar, you can write your answers in the chat box. Is it mind or is it body? Mind. So Subhasini M. Richa Kumari has given the answer as mind. I like to know breath, no life, no breath, no life. I like that. Okay, Ramana Disra is writing that. Dr. Shalini is writing mind. It's what so beautifully it says that a strong mind can carry a weak body. Yes, that's true. A strong mind can carry a weak body, but a weak mind cannot carry a strong body. Yeah, do you agree to this fact? So what is more powerful? Of course, mind is more powerful. And if I ask you what is mind, what is your definition of mind? If anyone wants to answer this in the chat box, maybe speak, unmute and speak. What is mind? We keep talking about this, that mind is very powerful. We really need to control our mind. Yeah. But what is mind? Have you ever thought about it? What is mind? See, scientifically, you would give the answer that, neurons are there, then those neurons have dendrites, and those dendrites are talking to each other more than permutation, combination, than stars in the galaxy, and then communication is happening. That is mind. But in layman language, एक साधारण भाषा में अगर आपसे पूछा जाए, मन क्या है? तो क्या है मन? बताइए. Responsible for taking ever decision. That is mind. Okay. Based on knowledge. Abu Afroz is writing, mind is something which is based on knowledge. Okay. Maybe based on information or knowledge. Again, there's a difference between information and knowledge. We are going to talk about it. Mind is something which perceives this world through these five senses. Let's understand. When I'm talking to you, your ears are listening to me, or through ears, mind is listening. Through ears, mind is listening, isn't it? When you are looking at me, your eyes are looking at me, or through eyes, your mind is looking at me. Your mind is looking at me, isn't it? So these five senses through which this world is perceived, by which faculty? Whatever faculty, that faculty is mind. It perceives the world through these five senses. Yes? So mind is nothing but thoughts. Yeah, another definition of mind. Mind is nothing but thoughts. And thoughts is something which all of you would be interested to decode today, that why these thoughts are coming to us, and what is the source of these thoughts, and why they keep coming, keep troubling us sometimes, or keep giving us some false pleasure sometimes when we look at our glorious past, isn't it? So now let's understand this thing. Let's decode this thing in the next slide. Yes, Vansh? So before this particular slide, I would like to share with you that thoughts are of two types which keep coming. Either it is about past or it is about future. Yes, you would agree to this fact. We keep thinking about past. If something has gone wrong in the past, it comes all the more in the form of thoughts. And it keeps troubling us. For example, somebody said something wrong to you. Maybe you had a fight with your boss. Maybe you had a fight with your family members. Somebody said something, some neighbor said something. You are doing any part of any activity, but that thought keeps coming. If it is negative, it comes all the more. Yeah. So we are either thinking about past or we are thinking about future, isn't it? What do we keep thinking about future? What is going to happen in my life? How it is going to be? Yeah. So either we are thinking about past or we are thinking about future. This is something which we start enjoying over a period of time, and it becomes very normal for us to get into the trap of past, future. मेरा क्या हुआ, मेरा क्या होगा, मेरा क्या हुआ, मेरा क्या होगा. Isn't it? Do you agree with this? And it is become so normal to us that we are swinging like a pendulum in past and future. It has become very normal to us, isn't it? How many of you would agree to this? It has become very normal. We are sitting idle. We have nothing else to do other than swiping in the mobile and checking Facebook or Instagram. अगर वो नहीं कर रहे हैं, WhatsApp नहीं कर रहे हैं आप, तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं? आप past में जा रहे हैं या future में जा रहे हैं? Yes. You know what science says? Science says that the main reason of accumulation of stress in your system is when cortisol, the stress hormone, it shoots up in your body. And when does it happen? When our mind goes into past or it goes into future. Yes? That is what happens. But right now, when you are here attending this session, I hope you are not in past, you are not in future, you are here. For how many of you, the body is also here, the mind is also here in the present moment. Can I see a few thumbs up or maybe some response on the chat box? Are you all here? Yes? If not, then you can snap your finger like this. You can snap your finger and bring it in the present. See, this is present moment. Yes? Right now. This is present moment. This moment is present moment. Yeah. Right now. Body is also here. Mind is also here. This is present moment. But most of the time it keeps swinging. Past, future, past, future. Life is in the present moment. Yes? How many of you agree that if you can learn how to keep your mind in the present moment, most of the time in the day, definitely your efficiency would increase. Definitely you'll be a better human being. Definitely your response to the situation would improvise. You agree to this? Yeah. So how to handle this mind, how to handle this thought, this is what we are going to discuss now. There are a couple of ways, 3-4 ways. First one, go for a run or a walk. Definitely. When you go for a run or a walk, your stomach, it gets balanced, which we talked about in the previous slide. And when it gets balanced, your mind is in the present. The moment you take a cold water bath or cold water shower, vagus nerve gets activated in your body. And what is this vagus nerve? Vagus is a Latin word. It means wanderer. What is the literal meaning of vagus? Wanderer. This nerve is called wanderer nerve. Why? Because it extends all the way from base of the spine to the top of the skull. It is wandering. ये जो वेगस नर्व है, ये हमारे शरीर में अलग अलग भाग में फैली हुई है, इसलिए इसे घुमंतु, द हिंदी मीनिंग ऑफ वंडरर और वंडरर नर्व बोला जाता है. The vagus nerve is responsible for balance between parasympathetic and sympathetic activities or the response. So when you take cold water shower, this vagus nerve gets activated and this brings your mind in the present. You know, in ancient culture, people used to go at 4 o'clock in a river, maybe Ganges or Yamuna or whatever, and used to take cold water shower. And they used to say that we are going to get merit. What is this merit? This merit is nothing but mind coming into the present moment, because vagus nerve gets activated when you take a cold water dip or a shower. Yeah. So whenever you're not feeling good, just take a shower with cold water and you'll be perfectly fine. Yes. The third one is listening to the loud music. It helps you to overcome overthinking. Now, how does it make any sense? If you observe our worshipping places, yeah, sound has played a major role. If you go to any temple in South India also, if you go, or maybe North India also, yeah, if you go to any place, you would see that there are big drums being played outside the temple. Yes, big drums are there. And the moment you enter inside, then you will see small drums, or maybe there are bells hanging on the roof. Yeah. And then you enter further inside, and then you will see small bells, and then you enter the centrum area. Yeah. Hindi mein what we call it as mandir. Yeah. You enter inside your inner being when you are taking few steps. So the instruments play a major role in bringing our mind, which is scattered into past and future, to the present. That is how music comes into picture. So if you play loud music, yeah, any music, whatever you want to listen, yeah, this brings your mind into bedroom. And fourth one is quite popular and the most effective one is meditate. Today we are going to experience for 10-15 minutes a practical way to meditate, and that will help us to overcome the cortisol, stress hormone in our system. So we can go to the next slide now, Vansh. So this is something we all have in abundance, I guess. That's the reason we are here in this FDP, this particular Atal session. Yeah, intellect. Yeah, being an educationist, definitely this is one of the main contributors to our personality. Yes, intellect. So we all are here, intellectuals sitting here. This is the fourth level of our existence, which is intellect. Now, what is intellect? Intellect is that faculty of ours which enables us to decide what is right and what is wrong. Yes, what is good for me and what is bad for me. That is something which is intellect, isn't it? But the problem with the intellect is, what is the problem with the intellect? It doubts positive and not negative. That is the problem. Now you would ask me, sir, how do you prove that? For example, let me take an example. For that, I would request you, few of you can turn on the video. It's been a while, we are talking. And the fourth level of existence, we cannot continue without having few videos turned on. Yeah. Can we have few videos turned on here? We are talking about intellect. So we have, let me check. Okay. Can I see few people? Are you all here with me? Enjoying the session?
Yes.
Okay, see, okay, Dr. Shalini ma'am, she is here with us. Can you all see Dr. Shalini ma'am? She has turned on her video. Yeah. So ma'am is here with us. Oh, she has got a beautiful smile. Very nice, beautiful, very nice, ma'am. And you are taking on this session and being part of this session. It's good to have, ma'am. You have good presence as well. It is very positive and very nice. It is. Yes. Very good, ma'am. Very nice. But ma'am, what I would say is, okay, so you're wearing some pink color, isn't it? Ma'am, I think blue color would suit you more. She has a smile on her face. Yeah, it's just an example, ma'am. Pink is also looking very good on you. Yeah. So why I've taken this example is to establish the point that this intellect it doubts positive. Yeah. How would it like Dr. Yeah. Shadi, when she came, she turned on her video. I started complimenting her. Yeah. It was all going good. But back of the mind, she must be thinking, oh, this session is on some effectiveness and leadership. Why is talking about my smile? Why is talking about my dressing? Dr. Shalini is thinking, why is talking about my presence? What is this going on? He has his intellect at his place or not? Back of the mind if this is going on. But the moment I said pink color doesn't suit you, blue suits you more. Down the line, after 10 years, I am meeting Dr. Shalini ma'am in a meeting or in a party. You know, first thing she looks at me and this guy told me that blue suits me and pink doesn't. First thing it would come in her. How many of you would agree to this fact? Aisa hoga, isn't it? Yeah. What happens? What happened in this example? And if I am giving compliments, back of the mind it is going on, something is wrong. It happens with all of us, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you for placing you as an example, Dr. Shalini ma'am. Yeah. When somebody praises us, we have doubt. Why is this happening? But when someone criticizes us, says negative to us, we never doubt that. How many of you agree? Over a period of years or time, what pattern we have developed is this intellect, it has started doubting positive and started accepting negative. This tendency results into accumulation of stress in our system. If we flip this tendency and we start doubting negative and accepting positive, definitely we are going to emerge as a good leader. It's a good leadership quality to doubt negative and believe in positive. Yes, do you agree with this? Intellect we are talking about. Yeah, the faculty of ours which discriminates between what is right and what is wrong. So intake, ponder and imbibe. This is very important. In Hindi, we call it as Shravan, Manan and Chintan. What is it? While I am talking to you, while we are having this session today, yeah, you must be listening to me, but you must be listening with three types of listening are there. One is emotional listening. What is emotional listening? You are sitting there, listening to it, the session would complete. Down the line, somebody would ask you, what did you learn from this session? What was your takeaway from this session? What would you say? The session was good. What was your learning? The session was nice. What was your learning? The session was fantastic. Learning? No. That is emotional listening. Yes? Wherein we are listening to it, but we are not allowing new ideas to get inside us. The second type of listening is ponder listening. Yeah? What is it? It is also called as intellectual listening. Intellectual listening is wherein we are listening to the facts and we are judging them, but we are taking too much time to learn from it or extract juice out of these ideas. We are really not giving them visa to enter our system. The third one is Chintan, imbibe, or a beautiful combination of intellectual listening and emotional listening. When we combine these two together, it becomes sincere listening. So being an educationist, you should definitely tell your students, tell all the followers who are following you, idolize you, to have this sincere listening blend, not emotional, not intellectual. Yeah. The sincere listening element, which is a beautiful combination of emotional listening and intellectual listening, that would really help us to sharpen our intellect. Shravan se Manan, Manan se Chintan. That is important. You can go to the next slide now. And letting go of the prejudice is very important. That is also, intellect is a faculty in your stage, yes or no? There are three types of intellect also. There are lots of filters around us that come in the way of listening. Yes, it happens. We have put those filters. Yes. Yeah. Prejudice should not be there. Science and spirituality, if I talk about, it goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. Yes. They both are integral part of each other. We should not reject anything. That is the scientific temperament. Yeah. For example, if I ask you, are keys in the room? Like you have your car keys. If I ask you, your car keys in this room or not? You say no, car keys are not there in this room. When do you say this statement? Only when you have completely searched the room and found out that keys are not there in the room, isn't it? Then only you can declare that keys are not there in the room. But before looking into the room, I cannot declare that keys are not there in the room. That is a scientific temperament. Yeah. Completely exploring it and then passing on a statement or establishing a fact. So science and spirituality goes hand in hand. So today, when we all are here, I would highly request you also, and I would like to put forth this point that if we all already have scientific temperament, it would be fantastic if we can combine this scientific temperament with a spiritual temperament. Then definitely we can strive forward. And that is what Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, his persona, his presence was so beautiful. He was a scientist by his profession, but had a spiritual blend of mind. Yes. He used to wonder looking at stars. He used to wonder looking at small things. Yeah. How a bud becomes a flower. He used to wonder about it. That is a spiritual temperament. Spirituality is made up of word spirit, which is enthusiasm, energy. Anything which brings a smile in your face, anything which gives you a positive energy, anything which uplifts your enthusiasm is spirituality. It is not singing, it's sitting somewhere chanting or doing some puja and everything. That is religion. That is a religious band of mind. What we are talking today here in this session is how to uplift our spirit so that we can become effective leader and increase our efficiency. So 3 types of intellect: tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic. So you can, as you can see, it's mentioned in the slide also. Intellect which is dormant is tamasic. Yeah, intellect which is not allowing new ideas, rejecting the ideas. Yeah, an innovative mind cannot have tamasic blend of intellect. Yeah, rajasic sees everything as different. What does that mean? Rajasic intellect is already has a few patterns fixed. Yes. And the person acts according to those set patterns. Sattvic intellect goes beyond the differences. It is an open mind, open intellect. Yeah. So today in this world, it is much needed to have this sattvic intellect. We can go to the next slide now. This is my favorite. Body was first, breath was second, mind was third, intellect is fourth, and fifth is memory. Okay. So now comes the question which I really enjoy asking is, the time is 56 minutes past 2. We started at 2:16 p.m. I've been talking for last 40 minutes. If I ask you, repeat whatever I have said, would you be able to do it? How many of you would be able to do it? Or whatever, how much percentage you can how much percentage you can share? Whatever I've been sharing, how much percentage you can share? Right from the beginning, right from the level body. Yeah, you can write here in the chat box, give your answers. Dr. Vijay Sharma is saying, I can do that. Whatever I've been sharing, yeah. Would you be able to share it? Not quite literally. Yeah, maybe 90% you can share. If you were listening very attentively, maybe 95%, but not completely. What comes into picture? Memory. Yes. So memory is something which is very interesting. It is very interesting to have. Memory is the storage house of our existence. It stores everything. It is so beautiful. Yeah. When you are driving back home, you don't have to tell yourself, I have to take left or right. You just sit in the car. You turn on the engine, and after 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes, or depends which city you are in, you are home. Isn't it? You don't have to put an effort. Isn't it? Why? Because memory is there. Something you touched for the very first time, it was really warm. and you were shocked. Your memory registered it. And today, if you see something which is hot or warm, what does your memory say? Remember how you felt last time? And then you take yourself away. So am I right when I say that memory is not only storing the instances, but it is also storing the instances along with the feelings? You touched something which was hot. So the incident got recorded, not alone along with the emotions. How many of you agree with this? This is so beautiful. Are you getting this? It's not just an instance. It is the feelings and emotions associated with the instance. Now comes the golden question, which is so interesting. Yes, how many of us are troubled with our own memory? Yeah, being a human being, how many of you are really challenged by our own memory? What does that mean? How many of you, it is the memory which troubles? You must have seen this movie Three Idiots. Yeah, many of you, most of you have seen this movie Three Idiots. We had a professor there in Three Idiots, Virus, they used to call him. And he had the gramophone, that musical instrument which plays the disc. And there is one stylus. Now, stylus is triangular shape, and it keeps rotating on that disc. Yeah, to the time the stylus is working effectively and rotating on the disc, music is being produced. But the moment the stylus gets stuck on the disc, it starts producing noise. Same happens with our memory, isn't it? Something which was a blessing has now become the hindrance. It starts producing noise. Whenever we get stuck to our past memory, then we are in trouble. It is as bad as we are driving a car looking into the rear mirror. It is as bad as we are walking forward, but we are looking backwards. What would happen? You would either fall or make other fall. Yeah, you would either get into accident or you are going to hit somebody's car. So memory is a blessing only up till you learn from the past instances, but you are not troubled by it. Now, what is really troubling us is, here is your memory and here are your emotions. They are together. We do need memory. Definitely we need memory with us. If we are not going to have memory, then how we are going to make further future decisions based on our past learnings? But somehow if we can learn a way to disconnect. Now here is your memory and here is your emotions. If we can disconnect the emotions associated with the memory, then we are just left with the memory. And there are no emotions associated with it. So next time when a past instance is coming into your mind, which is really troubling you, the decisions which you have taken wrong in your life, yeah, which contributes to the stress in your system or existence, it will not trouble you. If I share my experience with all of you, what has really happened is I practiced few breathing techniques. And breath is something which disconnects the memory with the emotions. So today when I look at my past, I see it as a dream. When I look at my past, I see it as a movie, nothing more. Are you getting this? I learned from it, but I'm not entangled with it. I'm not troubled by the negative things which happen in my life. So it becomes a blessing when we learn how to disconnect or detach emotions with memory. Isn't it so amazing? And we all can learn it. Yeah. And then going forward, we learn from it and effectively we can take our decisions. Yeah. That brings us to the next slide. Yeah, we have already talked about it. Meditation can help us to take better decisions for the present and future. Yeah. So see, past memories, emotions, we detach it through meditation by using breathing techniques. And then what happens? Only a better you will find. Yeah. The mind which is in the present. We can go to the next slide now. Yeah. This is the sixth level of existence, which is the ego. Now, what is ego? If I ask you, what is ego? Yeah, who would like to answer this? Anybody, any answers? In the chat box, you can write. What is ego? We keep using this term many times. oh, that person is very egoistic. Oh, he has his ego problems. We keep using these terms, isn't it? So Dr. Bhumija Chauhan has written your superiority complex. Okay. Dr. V. Venkata Rao is writing self-esteem. Okay. Anybody else would like to mention here what is ego? We should have ego or we should not have ego. Okay. ये तो yes no में आंसर दे सकते हैं आप. ईगो होना चाहिए या नहीं होना चाहिए ये चैट बॉक्स में लिख सकते हैं. So Sheetal Wongad is writing yes we should have. Abu Afroz is writing willing is ego. Dr. Bhumija is writing balanced approach. Sarat Babu is writing I as the universal, that is ego. Okay. Interesting answers are coming. Keep them coming. My question to you is, should we have ego or we should not have ego? This you can answer by writing yes or no. It's very simple. I'm waiting for your answers. Should we have ego or we should not have ego? Yes, sometimes it is required. Kasaltan Pure is writing. Dr. Shishir is writing, yes, we should have ego. So let's discuss ego now. Yeah? It is important. So again, I would like to have someone with video turned on. Yeah, can I have few videos turned on now? I would pick one of you as a volunteer to establish what is ego. It is going to be really interesting. Yeah, who would like to volunteer and turn on the video here? Ego should not get into your head. Ravana is D'Souza is writing. Richa Kumari is saying we should not have ego. Okay. So Dr. Shishir is here with us. Nice. Good to have your video turned on.
Hi.
Others can also turn on. Yeah, Dr. Shishir, please.
A very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so I replied as yes because like I personally felt that if you don't have ego and if you are a very simple and calm, especially in corporate world, the ugly world actually try to push you down. So I believe that because like I personally felt that nowadays especially like earlier I don't know, but 10 years down the line probably people will not by default respect you. So that I personally felt that people are trying to push people like it is like a rat race. So at that time, if you don't have ego, if you don't have a that slight negative approach that you are unavoidable, people will take you for granted, and that I practiced many times probably, and that aggression. I know that this is not good. Somebody wrote like this that it should be balanced, but it is now becoming imperative. It is becoming important because if the people like 10 let's have an example like most of our I am a academician, so interviews, in that interview we have some various rounds, and when there will be they are calling 10 people and they are giving any one particular topic and ask you to discuss for 5 minutes. In that 5 minutes you need to win, otherwise you will be keep quiet, nobody will give you the time. So that I think, and I wanted to ask you that how to balance it. I have one thing also, probably at the end of your session when you will be having some time, I'll be again come back to you with another question.
Definitely, Dr. Shishir. Thanks for sharing your views on ego without any ego. So what I would say is here is, so probably let me ask Dr. Shishir. So you must be from scientific background. I mean, you must be having science as a subject in your 11th and 12th. Am I right?
Yes.
And then you have pursued your, I think, BTech or MBBS you have done. BTech you have done.
Yeah, BTech, yes.
BTech you have done. Nice. And then in the field of maybe electronics or electrical? Computers. Okay, computers or IT. Okay, that's wonderful. But down the lane, if I ask you 40 years back, or you look quite young, maybe 35 years back or 40 years back, when you took birth, what was your name? What would you answer? What was your name? And right now we can read it out, Dr. Shishir. But when you
Yeah.
took birth,
No
there was
name.
no name. There was
Baby
no
of
name.
my mother or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no name. If
Yeah.
somebody would ask, Dr. Shishi is an engineer or a doctor, so you would have said, no, I am nobody right now. I just
Yes.
took birth, I've just come to this planet, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
If you ask me, I'm from arts, commerce, or science background, I have no idea. I've just come here, isn't it? So over a period of time, we have put all these labels with us, isn't it?
Yes.
That I'm an engineer. Yes, I've done PhD as well. Yeah, I am from computers background. I did my studies like this. I am native of this place. I am a son to these parents. I am a father to these kids. I am a brother to the sister, or all these things, all these labels we are carrying with our own self. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. We are carrying all these labels with our own self. And what is ego is nothing but I. That I, which makes all these labels put together, that is something which creates our personality. And that is what I is. Yes.
Yes.
What happens is, the problem is, when Dr. Shishir is playing with his kids, he cannot keep all these labels. Otherwise, he is going to act like he is a doctor. He is a PhD graduate, and he is an engineer. He is, leading so many people. He is a leader in his field. But while playing the kids, it's really not required. Are you getting this?
Yes.
Yeah. That time, what he has to do is, he has to one by one take all these labels off, and he has to just keep one label here, which is father.
Yes. Correct.
A father who is a friend, to improvise it. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. This particular skill, yeah, is something which is called as, you are handling the ego is not handling you.
Okay.
The literal meaning of ego is, when the ease goes away, that is ego. If you decode ego, ease goes away. This is the sixth level of existence, which is very subtle, very subtle. And as rightly put here by Dr. Shishir, should we have it or should we not? We should definitely have it. If we are not having ego, we are not going to do anything in this world. When you say that I have to achieve this, I have to crack this interview, I have to grab this position, I have to get a promotion, I have to put a nice presentation, it is your ego which is driving you, giving you that much needed energy. But the problem is using the ego at the wrong place. There is no place of ego in relationships. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And it is very much required when you are achieving your aims or goals in life. Being an ambitious person, it is very much required. So how to handle this ego is, we should keep it in our pocket. Whenever it is needed, put it here, use it, and again put it in the pocket. People forget to keep it back in the pocket. That is the problem.
Yes.
And how much should we have it? We should have as much as salt is there in the food. That much is required, that much is enough. That much is enough. Yes? So ego is something, use it, then keep it. This is the mantra of ego. This is the sixth level of existence, which is very, very, very subtle. Now, how stress gets accumulated? The stress gets accumulated at the level of ego when we are not dealing things with belongingness. अपनेपन के भाव से जब नहीं करते हैं, then we get into trouble. Now at the workplace also, somehow we have to learn this. Often people get confused between ego and self-respect. Or self-esteem, somebody has just answered here. There's a difference. Self-respect is which is associated with self. Self-respect is associated with self. It is coming from within. Ego is wherein you demand respect from other people. Have you seen many people who keep looking at you until you wish them good morning or good afternoon? Have you seen at your workplace? They keep staring you. They keep following you with their eyes until you wish them.
Not responded, sir.
Yeah. Some people don't respond also. So ego is something wherein you demand respect from other people. Self-respect is something which is already there with you. You're getting this? That is the difference which we need to understand. We can have the next slide now. Bunch. This is the seventh level of existence, which is self. Yeah. So what we today discussed is, if I summarize, So what is the difference between ego and attitude? Yeah. See, ego is very, very, very subtle. Attitude is just part of it. Yes. We keep saying having the right attitude is important. That is right approach or right perception towards happenings in the world. That is important. So you can say the superset is ego and attitude is just part of it. Yeah. So often we say that when you lose an argument in a relationship, it's your win. Are you getting this? So we have to keep our ego aside. And when you are going for your ambitions, goals in life, then you have to put best of your efforts. Keep your ego in your hand and then go for it. Strive for it. But you would observe this, that what is happening is, see, when Mahesh Poti is asking, a lot of attitude is ego, which is when we are too much obsessed with these labels. For example, I'm sitting here in front of you. I'm obsessed with, oh my God, I led a team in Sydney, Australia, in the education department. So many people I've led. Yeah. Or maybe I organized one of the biggest youth event in the country. Yeah. So if I keep these labels with me in every act of mine, and I'm not putting them aside, I'm too much obsessed with my own personality. Yeah. So that would reflect in whatever I am doing. That is a shrinked ego. Expanded ego is when I offer myself and put myself to some use. How can I contribute in others' success? How can I help others? How can I uplift others? How can I act as a good leader and help my team members? That is an expanded ego. When I keep thinking only about myself, it is shrinked ego because I'm too much obsessed about myself. Are you getting this? You know, the quickest way to get into depression is you sit in a room, close the door, turn off the lights, turn off your mobile, sit on a chair or a bed and keep asking yourself this question with eyes closed. What about me? Mera kya hoga? What about me? Mera kya hoga? In just 10 minutes, you are into depression. Make sense? Yeah. So too much obsession is not good. Instead of me, if you turn the direction about how I can help this. Yeah. Then that is what we call as Upyogi Banna. Yeah. So that is more on a philosophical side we are going. So let's come back to our session. The seventh level of existence is self. Yeah. We keep talking about immense power is there within us. Infinite possibilities are there. So there was scientific research held at the Yale University and Harvard University of Medical Sciences. I'm going to share the link with you after the session. You can read out what happened in that survey. Yeah, Harvard Medical University, the session happened wherein they just had a group of students. There were two groups of students. One group was being taught how to overcome stress, how to have a positive attitude, right approach in life, just by talking, what we are doing right now. But I hope you are enjoying it, you are finding it interesting. So they were just talking, nothing much. So after the session, people used to feel good, but there was no tool or technique to, really put it into life in a practical manner. And what happened to the second group? The second group was taught some tools and techniques and they were asked to practice it. And this particular research or report, it got published a few months back by Yale University and Harvard University. Definitely read that article, have a look. We are going to share it with you after the session. Immensely, positively, these techniques and tools contributed to the well-being of the students who experience it. Yeah. So few of them, one or two of them, we are going to experience now. If you are interested in maybe 10-15 minutes and a short meditation we are going to do. Yeah. So there are a few conditions to it. Wherever you are sitting right now, ensure that you are not disturbed for next 10-15 minutes. If you wish to take a washroom break, you can take it right now. Go to washroom and drink some water, maybe half glass of water. And then you can come back and sit to your place. You can come sit. And then we are going to experience something for next 15 minutes maybe. And then I'm going to ask you, how did you feel? So you can tell your family members, most of us are at home, that you are not disturbed. And then we are going to experience something which is going to help us to remove stress from our system, different levels of it. Sounds good? Okay, so you can put a message in the chat box that you are ready, then I will start.
Yes, sir. Ready.
Okay, rest of you? So we can just, I have to adjust my camera a bit. Do we have more slides, Vansh? Or we are done? Okay, so these are the 7 levels. Meanwhile, body, breath, mind, intellect, memory, ego, and self. We discussed about different levels in detail. We discussed about how the stress is impacting all these levels, and how is stress accumulating in different levels of our existence. Do we have another slide? Or we are done? Okay. So we can, you can stop the sharing now. Okay, we can stop the sharing now. Fine. So we are going to, what we are going to experience now is, we are going to experience a breathing technique which is called Bhastrika. It's also called as warrior's breath. It is very effective. It gives you instant energy. Whenever you are feeling low, low on energy, you can practice this. And how we are going to do is very simple. You have to place your palms like this in front of your shoulders at shoulder height. And thumb is outside the fist. Thumb is outside the fist. Your elbows are close to your body. Your elbows are close to your body like this. Yes, as you can see, thumb is outside the fist. Thumb is outside the fist. Yeah. So when I go up, I open my arms and breathe in. So my palms are open as I go up. And when I come down, I close my fist again and I breathe out. I repeat, when I go up, I breathe in and open my fist. When I come down, I close my fist again and breathe out. Is it clear? So let's observe this again. Yes? So this is Bhastrika that we are going to experience. I hope it's fine. Maybe a couple of you can tell me that you got it, so I can proceed further. Yeah, got it. Good. So this we are going to do. When you hear breathe in, you go up, breathe out, and you come down. Yes, forcefully you have to come down. That is important. Like this technique is called Bhastrika, Bhastrika, a very ancient technique for instant energy. You got it. Yeah, we call it as yogic shots to give you instant energy. कैसे करना है? Yes. Okay, I'll write it here for all of you. Yeah. Okay. So with eyes closed, that is important. So we do it like this. We are going to do it. So breathe in, out, in, out. Done. So when you breathe in, you have to fill up your lungs completely. पूरा अच्छे से आपको सांस अंदर लेना है. Okay. And when you breathe out, forcefully you have to breathe out. Bring your arms down. Done. Let's start. Yeah. So thumb is outside the fist. So probably you can do couple of rounds with eyes open so you can see me. And once you think that you are doing it right, keep your eyes closed. After count 20, breathe in 2, breathe in 3, in 18, in 19, in 20, I would ask you to relax. How do you have to relax? Just place your palms on your thighs facing towards ceiling and just relax with eyes closed. Then you are going to hear, get ready for next round. So you get ready for next round. Again, take position. Breathe in, you go up, out, you come down. In, go up, out, you come down. And then relax. After 2 rounds of Bhastrika, we are going to experience something which is going to increase your awareness and give you a deep rest. Rest and awareness together is very rare, but we are going to experience it. Awareness also and rare rest also. Yeah, विश्राम भी और जागृत रहते हुए हम उसको अनुभव करेंगे. How we are going to experience it is just keep your eyes closed and just follow the instructions. I am going to say, breathe in, breathe out, take your awareness to right foot, left foot, shoulders, neck, head, different parts of the body. Just take your awareness. Like for example, when I say apple, apple, it came, you didn't decide green apple or red apple, it just came, isn't it? Similarly, when I say right foot, so don't move that body part. Just take your awareness to it. Simple as that. 5-10 minutes we are going to do it. And then you open your eyes and share your experience. And you would feel wonderful, I'm sure about it. Shall we do it? Yes? Ready? Okay. Just keep our eyes open or closed, your wish. But it is preferred to keep our eyes closed throughout. Once you are in line with the instructions, in line with the visions, in line with the movement, you can close your eyes and continue. Okay. So let's get ready. Thumb is outside the fist, up till shoulder height, elbows close to the body. Normal breath and breathe out. Again a deep breath and breathe out. Together with full force. Breathe in. Throw your arms up in the air. Open your fist as you breathe in. Breathe out. Come down. Close the fist again. Once again. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Continue with eyes closed. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In 40, in 50, in 60, in 70, in 80, in 90, in 20, and relax. Keep your eyes closed, place your palms on your thighs or knees, palms facing towards ceiling, and observe the vibrations happening in your system. You may feel some tingling sensation, some vibration. Just be aware of it. Let's get ready for the next round of Bhastrika. Again, take position. Loose fist in front of your body up till shoulder height. Elbows are close to your body, neck and back straight, and keep a smile on your face. Let's take a normal deep breath in and breathe out. Once again, a deep breath in. Breathe out completely. With full force and energy together, breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Keep doing in, out, 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 and relax. Place your palms on your eyes on and close your eyes. Keep your eyes closed. Sit easily and comfortably with your eyes closed. Let's take a normal breath in and breathe out. Once again, a deep breath in, breathe out completely. Keeping your eyes closed, let's become aware of our body. Drop all your body weight onto the floor you are sitting. Feel light. Feel at home. Be at ease with your own chest. Put a smile on your face. Once again, breathe in and breathe out. Become aware of the environment. Accept all the noises in the environment. Noise of the traffic moving, people talking, fan moving, or any kind of noise.
एफडीपी
Become aware of it.
20 बार तो साउट हो जाती हूँ मैं ट्रेन करती रहती हूँ कि अगर मेरा वो देखे ना ट्रैफिक को तो अभी आप लोग भी कितना सब ऐसे कर रहे हो दिन भर अपने कंडीशन खोलते रहते हैं अब कार में चला रहे ना तो लाइट छोड़
Mala Mathur ma'am, can you mute yourself? Yeah. Accepting all the disturbances and noises in the environment. Let's keep our eyes closed. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's become aware of our body. Relax our body. Take your awareness onto the right foot, right knee, right thigh, whole of your right leg. Take your awareness onto the left foot, left knee, left thigh, whole of your left leg. Take your awareness onto the base of the spine. Hips, genitals, abdomen, chest, right shoulder, right arm, left shoulder, left arm, throat, face, relax your face, chin, cheek, nose, eyes, eyeballs, eyebrows, forehead, top of your head. Become aware of your whole body. Relax more and more. Keeping your eyes closed, become aware of your thoughts. Observe your thoughts, good thoughts or bad thoughts. Let them come and go like clouds come and go. Do not resist your thoughts. Be in harmony with your thoughts. Breathe in and breathe out. Become aware of your feelings, good feeling or bad feeling. Become aware of it. You are peace, you are joy. Become aware of your feelings. Become aware of your thoughts. Become aware of your body. Become aware of the environment. Relax more and more. Breathe in and breathe out. So again, breathe in. And as you breathe out, very slowly and gently, taking your own time, whenever you feel comfortable, comfy, you may open your eyes. आंखें खोल सकते हैं. Welcome back. Good. You can share in the chat box if you're feeling relaxed. Chat box, you can share your experiences. If you were able to follow it, relaxed. Good to see that. You just did it for 10-12 minutes, not much due to time constraints. So you can practice this and then keep our eyes closed. Accept the noises in the environment. Take your awareness to different parts of the body. And then thoughts, and then feelings, and then reverse feelings, thoughts, body, environment, and just be at peace. It's a very short meditation we can do after this breathing technique. Yeah. Really felt our aura. Very nice. Sugashini is writing. If you really wish to explore it further, you can contact Meeta ma'am. she would tell you how you can do more of it. Yeah. And extensively and effectively, how you can experience different breathing techniques which are so popular across the world. Yeah. So, talking about today's session, we learned about the 7 levels. Body is the first one, breath is the second, mind is the third, fourth is intellect, fifth is memory, sixth is ego, and seventh is self. The more time we spend with the 7 level of existence, it takes care of rest of the existence. Simple as that. So how do we spend time? Listening to nice good music, playing with your pets or your kids, yeah, reading nice good book. All these things definitely help. But the most effective one is sit with your own self with your eyes closed for some time. That is really effective. Learn how to meditate. Do some breathing techniques. Yeah. That is in true sense your me time, what you're looking for. That is in true sense is going on a vacation with your own self. Yeah, spending time with yourself. Otherwise, when we go for a vacation, after coming back home, we need 2 more days to overcome the tiredness we have got in that vacation, isn't it? Yeah. छुट्टियां बिता के आते हैं और थक जाते हैं. अपने साथ कुछ समय बिताना जरूरी है. That is the crux of this session. Yeah. So hope you all liked it and enjoyed today's session. That's it from my side. And if you have any questions, you may please ask in the chat box, or you can unmute and ask. So if Meeta ma'am is here, maybe she can drive the session. Yeah.
I request if any of the participants want to ask something, please you may.
If you have liked the session, you can share your response here. Yeah, please.
I'm Dr. Asni. Really, the session is very informative and wonderful. Really, I relaxed myself. I'm in college. In meantime, I have I identified my aura is increasing somewhat. I'm unable to right now. One small question: if I have sudden some stressful incident will happen, if someone says something means, how to relax myself and to overcome that from my mind immediately? Is there any relaxation techniques? Is there immediate relief?
Yes. I got your question. Yes, Subhasini ji. That's a very good question. So actually, she's asking the question that it is good, sir. Right now we are in a peaceful environment. But if somebody says something negative to us, criticizes or says something negative, or maybe, shouts at us or shows anger, then how to keep our peace of mind in that moment? That is the question. Subhasini ji is asking.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I would like to answer that question just by sharing this fact that, the way you react to that particular situation is not based on that particular moment, but the conditioning of your mind, which has happened for last so many years. You would agree to this fact. The mind is getting conditioned every single moment. So over last few years, there are few patterns, and the way mind reacts to a particular situation, it's already here. Whenever it gets an opportunity to react in a situation, it shows its true color. So if we want to adjust or fine tune the way we react to a situation, we have to start responding to the situation instead of reacting. And that is only possible when you are giving quality time to your mind and conditioning it in a positive manner. Are you getting my point? At the time of fight, it will not help you. But at the time of peace, if you are spending time with it, sitting in the room and conditioning it in a positive manner, it will be your best friend. Yes, Suhasini, does that answer your question? So all those people who say count till 10, drink cold water when you are into a fight, it doesn't work. Because who is telling who? Mind is telling mind, it doesn't work. When you say to yourself, oh come on, I don't have to fight. Oh come on, I have to keep my calm. Your mind is talking to mind. Are you getting this? It doesn't work. There has to be something else. And what is that something? These breathing techniques, meditation. When you are all alone, sitting in a room, give it some quality time. It will be your best friend. Okay. Another question we have, Vadiraj Manvi, sir, how to overcome criticism, how not to respond to other people for unwanted. See, criticism is good. It is not bad. That is why criticism is always welcomed in our culture. If you see India as a country, all the scriptures, they are based on question answers. Yes. If you talk about Yoga Vashishta, Lord Rama is asking questions to Rishi Vashishta and he is answering. If you talk about Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna and Krishna, they are having a dialogue wherein they are asking each other questions. Yes. If you see different scriptures, all are based on the Ashtavakra Gita. Ashtavakra is asking question to Janaka and Janaka is answering to Ashtavakra. In our culture, question answers are allowed. Criticism is also allowed. Unlike Western countries, wherein Galileo was crucified just because he said something which was not according to the ideology. In our culture, it was never the case. So criticism, when someone is doing criticism, how to handle it is just know that from what space that criticism is coming. A criticism of an enemy is better than flattering of a good friend. It is a saying which goes very well. So allow criticism in life. But the problem with us is whenever criticism is given to us or somebody criticizes to us, then instead of implementing on it or taking some positive out of it, we take it personally. That is the problem. You know, if you talk about a person who is sitting at the highest position, be it CEO or president of an organization, definitely people are going to criticize. But then intellect comes into picture to decide whether this criticism is being done from the space of my own welfare, well-being, or it is coming from the space of a destructive criticism. That is where your intellect should be able to decide the difference between advice and opinion. Opinion is something wherein the person is not bothered whether you follow it or not. It is just an opinion. Yeah, it is just an opinion. But advice is something wherein the person is your well-wisher and really wants you to follow it for your own good. So the day when we are able to discriminate between opinion and advice, we will be able to discriminate between a constructive criticism and a destructive criticism. That is important. I hope that answers your question, Vadira. And how not to respond to other people for unwanted things. See, there's a golden mantra, always remember, save your mind at any cost. Yeah, always remember this line, save your mind at any cost. Come what may, you should not lose your smile. That is very important. Yeah, that is very important. And what Dr. He said ego is very much required. So we have to show ego, otherwise we cannot sustain this challenging environment of professionalism. I would say it is very good idea to be skillful rather than being egoistic. Yeah, to get the work done. Yeah, you can be skillful at the same time you can be humble. Are you getting this? That is very much required. And anger, if you have to show, yeah, show it only at the level of expressions, not from inside. That is important. Yeah. Otherwise, what we see in the world today is anger has become so cheap and smile has become so expensive, isn't it? We have to do it other way around. We have to make our anger expensive and smile cheaper. Yes. And how we can achieve that? We can achieve that only by shouting, yelling, or criticizing or showing our anger only from this level, from the level of speech, not from the level of heart. That is important. Yeah. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Dr. Shalini ma'am, thank you so much for having me today. I have very good memories with Gueta.
Sir, hope all the participants must have been benefited and enjoyed this session. We are grateful to you, sir, for sparing your time and efforts you share with us and for the interactive and knowledge enriching lecture. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much, sir.
I'm really looking forward to have you all in the breathing techniques and the meditation workshop whenever you get an opportunity with any organization, not just Art of Living, I'm saying. Whenever you
Vivek
get
sir,
an opportunity.
namaste.
Namaskar, Dr. Shyam Sundar Sharma ji. How are you, sir?
Sir, fine. बहुत अच्छा sir.
Okay.
But today you have given very hard task. We have to given the time to self. It is very. I think it's not easy for us. We are not doing that work.
Yeah, that we have to do. We have to take out that me time, give ourselves at least 15 to 20 minutes daily. Sit in a closed room and give yourself some time. That is very important.
So after a long time we have your session. So it was very wonderful for us.
Thank you. Privilege is always mine, sir. Pleasure is always mine. And good to have all these.
The credit goes to Mita ma'am.
Yeah, credit goes to Mita, of course, of course. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Shyam Sundar, sir. And thank you so much. And keep good health and keep a smile on your face on what may. That's the line what I would say before leaving. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sharma.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vivek, sir.
Thank you so much, Meeta ma'am. Grateful
Yes,
to you
sir.
for the opportunity. Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much once
So
again.
I would really request all of you to share your feedback if there is a form of today's session. So that is my takeaway. I will read those feedback and I would like to learn. If anything I have to improvise in today's session, you can always share in the feedback form. You like it or what needs to be improvised. That will help you to improvise. Thank you so much.